all you stackers out there. Thanks for hopping in. We've got Dennis coming in here first. Appreciate you very much. Rural Stacker, Reckless Collections. How you doing? Stapler, what's going on? Don't be fooled. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I'm hanging in there, doing good. I was pretty much going to bed. I was like getting ready for bed, and you know what? I was like, I'm not that tired. Why don't I go ahead and just come on here and just see how everybody's doing? I hope you guys don't mind. I don't really have a huge outline or plan for this evening as we normally do. I don't really have anything like very challenging to discuss. More or less just wanted to kind of get the vibe of how everybody's doing. We've got this situation where we're kind of trading now in this little bit of a channel between sort of 70 and 85, that kind of a range, and going back up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's the stability. I guess that's about as stable as I guess it's going to get. I don't know if we would expect it to be the same price within one or plus or minus 1%. It seems to be this 10% range or so is where we're really kind of dancing around, and it's fine. It's fine if that's where it's going to settle down. We don't have much crazy volume right now. It's some things are looking kind of good to me. Just a kind of a nice chill place to just let the stack kind of rest a little bit. Take a breath like we talked about, and kind of drift on some smooth currents for a while, right? How's it going? Canna Stacker, thanks for coming in. Doing great. Thanks for being here. Give away that gold? Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep the gold for myself. The gold is to stay. The silver can be given away, right? Can you please go golf this weekend? Yeah, I actually, Stapler, I'll be doing a little birthday golfing. So expect me to give it a nice big boost on Tuesday after I smack the ball around on Monday, have a real good round, and then Tuesday should be a great up day for us. So yeah, I'll go out there and get some golf in. They want you to sell your silver and buy Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is down too. They're giving us an easy out. Don't do it though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I do think there's something to say about this whole central bank digital currency stable coin action that I think that's a long game though. Don't be fooled. I think we still have a while before we kind of get into that situation. And even when they introduce it, it won't be, I don't think it'll be a situation where they go, hey, no longer accepting the United States dollar promissory notes, right? Like, it'll be a transition period. So we have time. I think we have time. I hope we have time. Man, that would be bad if we didn't. But yeah. So how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Just what do you guys think about the precious metal swings? I mean, it's not really that different, right? I mean, it's just ever since the great collapse of 2026, right? We're still sitting in the same sort of channel and range. And yeah, what's up, Penny Scout? How you doing? OC Omega Stacking. Hey, buddy, welcome. I am smoked. What does that mean, Penny Scout? Are you out there smoking some beef or something? Are you curing some meat? What are you up to? What are you smoking? Or are you tired? But yeah, let's check and look at these charts going on today. We had a pretty big down day. You subbed to the channel. Thanks, man. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, the good opportunity for me to just say, if you guys aren't subbed, I mean, subs are nice to see the numbers go up and all, and the likes are fun. But really, for me, the primary thing is just people showing up to the live streams, doing some engagement, having some fun. Just having honest conversations, whether you agree, disagree, you have your own thoughts, you're comfortable sharing them so we can discuss as a group here and all kind of learn and get stronger, man. Build stronger foundations for our wealth. That's all I care about, and it's all I do. So yeah, like as our friendo over there in the Thousandaire Radio section likes to say, we will never be a shill for the big bullion dealers, man. We just will keep our own private, independent thoughts, and we'll share our thoughts. What's going on, Vegas Stacker? Thanks for coming in. Good evening, sir. Hope all is well with you as going out there. Yeah. Is the COMEX going to fail? Wolf and Beer, it's funny you say that. I've seen so many more channels starting to finally cover the COMEX situation, and it kind of makes me happy. It really does kind of make me happy to see a little bit more attention being drawn on the quantity of silver left in the COMEX. And again, I don't think fail is the right word. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of backdoor deals happening where they basically say, they're going to reach out to their customers, because remember, the COMEX is full of customers, traders, big institutions, banks, governments that have relationships with these people. It's not just a digital, system, right? There are human beings that manage these things and govern these things, and are supposed to, legislate these things and regulate them. Whether or not they do a good job, who knows? But there are relationships there. And I think what's going to happen is when the bill comes due for all of these people to stand for delivery, if they do stand for, let's say 300 million stands for delivery in silver ounces, I think they're going to just call up clients and say, hey, hey, it's Bank of America here, and I'm trying to get a hold of, whatever, some other bank. And, hey, look, you've got 200 contracts here. What do you say we pay you out, we deliver on 50, and we roll 150 over to May? Or why don't we, cash settle on this 100 and then push the 50 next month or something? They're going to wheel and deal. They're going to figure it out. They're not going to let it just implode. But I do think it's going to be that pressure point that forces these types of conversations and these types of actions. I think the COMEX may even force some unwilling participants, the lower totem pole people, to maybe they force them to take cash settlement rather than delivery, because they're not as powerful and influential figures and groups with as much money. But but I think it is of important note to see that, and I've seen so many videos. I can't even tell you now. Almost, it seems like every channel now is starting to finally discuss this. So maybe we were a couple months too early talking about it here on this channel. But whenever I see anything that makes me pause and consider the outcome of the situation, like anything that seems of interest to me, I feel like I should just share it and discuss it and get it out there for people, regardless of how relevant it is in terms of the news cycle and how click worthy it is. I just think if it's important to me, it's probably important to other people, so I share it. So here we are. So yeah, we probably jumped the gun on it, but hey, it's getting a lot of stacker coverage these days. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, what the hell is this guy rambling about? We've done a few videos where we talked about the quantity of COMEX silver contracts that are open and could possibly stand for delivery in the month of March well exceeds the amount of silver available currently. So it's going to be an interesting situation. And what I believe is that late February, people can start to declare, and then the institutions that are on the sell side of the contracts will have basically the entire month of March to initiate that process. So we'll see what happens. A force majeure is actually better for the short sellers. I assume the banks have somehow hedged their shorts. Oh, of course, Wolf and Beer. Yeah, of course. These are very sophisticated. Whether you like them or not, they are intelligent. They are powerful. They do have money, right? They're not going to just watch hundreds of millions of dollars just evaporate. They will figure it out. They'll work it out, or they'll take the loss this quarter and they'll work out a deal with somebody else next quarter to get it back. It's no big deal. It's going to be newsworthy, but it's not going to cripple the metals. It's not going to cripple the financial institutions or the COMEX. It will just be interesting to see how it plays out and see who gets screwed. Hopefully it's not us, right? Hopefully it's not the little guys that are just trying to hold on to precious metals and build for their wealth or build for their retirement. I put the poll out there because, I wanted people to see that, there's a lot of different reasons people stack. And of those different reasons, people might have different motivations to buy at certain points and to sell at certain points or to hold forever, right? So I just thought it might be interesting for everybody to see how that poll kind of fills out over the evening as we go. But yeah, let's see what's going on. I'm at 146 because I saw. Oh, what did I miss there? I may have missed some comments there, but anyway, Yeah, no, it's gonna work out. Banks elites will fail very soon. I don't know. You know, we have a history of bailing these banks out, and they have gotten to the point where I think it's expected that the US government will bail them out if they look like they're going to default. Like if a big bank looks like it's going to default, there's a reason why we have that too big to fail mantra now. And I think well, it's not sadly because again, if a bank fails, right, the people that get hurt are the normal people, you and I, and the families and the retirees and the hardworking people and the blue collar people. Those are the people that get hurt with bank failures when every dollar that they have, in that bank gets basically just eviscerated. And then the banks pay off their debtors first before they're paying off the people that had their accounts, right? And then you have to wait months and months and months hoping that FDIC insured money gets returned to you and all that. The people that get hurt are the normal people. It's never the big banks. It's never the big institutions. So I never ever wish for any sort of cataclysmic collapse of a financial institution or the US dollar or our government or our nation, right? Those would be such terrible situations that I don't want that to be. I don't want us to have to figure out how to deal with SHTF, right? While we will prepare for it and we will stack and we will get the goods and items that we need to, make sure that we can handle those situations. I don't ever wish for them on anybody, right? What's going on, Silver Serpents? Thanks for being here. Canna says the people's savings and pension funds are the first to go. Yeah, I mean, they're just going to cannibalize those and be like, oh, sorry, we know that you worked here for 55 years and you put in a significant portion of your income into this so that you would have a retirement. But we made some bad bets and we lost all your money. Hey, sorry about that. As they go and live off in their mansion, right? Like that, it's never the top that gets hurt by all this stuff. It's always the normal middle class, lower class people that have to front the burden of what mismanagement happens, I heard the miners are fighting the paper price. First Majestic just stockpile silver till price goes back up. Their earnings will be interesting next week. Yeah, that is interesting. We'll see how that works out. Wolf and Beer, there's only so much they can do, right? And the only reason they can do that is because silver price went up so much. I would imagine that they've made enough profitability from what they did sell to kind of like restrain if that's what they're really doing. But at some point, they're gonna have to sell again, right? They can't just withhold forever. They aren't the end all be all, right? There's a lot of silver in the system coming from places other than mines. So we'll see how that works out. We will see how that works out. Yeah, 33 watching is awesome, man. Yeah, again, the crowd goes up and down. Sometimes we'll have over 200 and sometimes we'll have, under 50. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't really try too much. I know what I could do. Like I could put up the fancy thumbnails and I could put up the really engaging titles that like the whole world is coming to an end, buy silver now. I could play the game, but yeah, the game's kind of boring. I'd rather just be authentic and have a conversation and be real with people. And if they want to go get the bread and circus, man, there's plenty of places to go get a bread and circus. If you want to just have some fun and talk about this stuff, hopefully I'm the place for you. All right, let's get a quick checkup here. This is obviously the last day of trading for the weekend here as we're going into what would be Friday in the Asian markets that are already open. We have a little bit of a rebound so far, so hopefully we end on another nice Friday. If this ends positive today, then I would say we have a pretty consistent trend where Thursday is an absolute beatdown and Friday's a recovery. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened last week. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And I think in my mind, I've recognized quite a few weeks, it feels like in a row, where Thursday was a beatdown day. Maybe we can get some fact checking on the old Dragoon there. But we'll see. What's up, Wholesome One? Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you, man. First Majestic has their own mint. Oh, okay. That makes sense then, Vegas. I didn't realize that. So First Majestic, they work as a miner and a mint. Is that what it is? So they kind of do both parts of that supply chain. That's cool. That's a good little business model, right? Oh, also, if anybody's interested, I don't know, we can go through and I can go through and show you some stuff. I did pick up. So I do albums of my $50 that I collect, and I paid You guys ready to laugh at me? You can throw some of the LOL emojis or something in the chat here. But I paid $700 for 20 barber half dollars recently. Talk about overpaying. But anyway, but I did get some cool dates, like these 1895s, 1897s down here. We got some cool stuff. So anyway, maybe later on I can go through and show you some of my barbers and eagles and stuff that I've picked up recently. I've got a couple more coming, but been just filling out these albums slowly, kind of like on the down low, and adding to my half dollar stack. We're up to about 500 half dollars in the collection, and I want to get that up to tens of thousands of half dollars. So ambitious goal, and with the price of silver, it's slowed down, but hopefully I can get back into it. I think, if we my next expected price point here is I really want to get kind of like to the 65s. I think that we could get to the 65s on a really bad day. And I think that's going to be where I go ahead and pick up some new stuff, right? Some new stuff there. Friday the 13th will be brutal. No Shanghai for over a week to bring it back up. Seattle, settle the shorts on the next dip. Tony Phoenix, what's up? Thanks for being here. Well, Friday the 13th is right now, and we're up. Look, Friday the 13th right now, and we're up. I know we're going to have what, Monday? Is Monday going to be a closed market as well? And I know it's was it President's Day? Is it a US COMEX holiday though? I don't know. But Friday the 13th is happening right now, and we are up a little bit in gold. We got a little bit of recovery in gold. We got a little bit of recovery in silver, platinum, palladium. We're pretty much solid across the board. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, like, we've obviously defined a new channel, which is cool. I mean, channels are cool. We've had the big dip, but really, if we're just looking at this, man, I always wonder what happens when I put those new lines on here. We're kind of just cruising though, right here, right? About I don't know, let's call it 90. I mean, I would go a little lower than that if I was really doing like a true trend line for myself, but I don't go to the extremes. I go more to the averages myself. But everybody's got a little different trends. But let's call it, 63 was the down part there, but really it's closer to 75. It's really closer to 75 to 85 as our true kind of trend lines where we're at. And I don't know. I would anybody be upset if we hung out in this area for like 2-3 months? Serious question. I do think March is going to bring volatility. I think March is going to absolutely have an impact on pricing as that whole thing gets shook out like we talked about. But to me, this isn't that big of a deal. I kind of would be happy to just ride in this little zone for a few months. Let's let the refineries get caught back up. Let's let the LCSs get their books straightened out and get their, because they're some of them are really struggling. You're spending just so much money on silver, and then it crashes 10% in a day. I mean, that's just tough. I've seen lots of comments about stores closing for a weekend or taking extra days off during the week and not buying this and that. They need time to get caught up, man. Just let them get caught up. I would not mind at all if it stayed at 75 to 85 for a few months. Me neither, man. I think it's a good thing. Lunar New Year coming up is what Wolf and Beer is talking about, and a full week closed for the China market, closed after tonight's session. Will that have will that have a big impact on the COMEX though? I don't know. I mean, that's something to pay attention to, I guess, right? Maybe we can register this one in the old mental history books of what happens in a bull market with a lot of volatility when the Chinese market closes for a week, right? We'll see what happens. Take a little sip of some hot tea. I got some, what's this? Turmeric tea? I don't know, whatever that stuff is, the inflammation type stuff. Make you clean out a little bit. Green tea and turmeric tea. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? Totally. Hover for a bit would be nice if gold came down too. Yeah, I mean, gold's down too. I mean, 5,600, right? It's got pretty much the same exact charting pattern. So these metals, they have taken the same little, they're pretty much the same graph. You know what I mean? So gold just didn't have as deep percentage-wise of a change as silver did, but it just happens. I got a question from my dealer. Unless you guys know, no one is talking about peace dollars. Are the premiums gone, or are they like 90% on sale? Penny Scout, I've seen, I have not gone to my LCS in a while to buy, just because my LCS like kind of overcharges a little bit. And when these prices jumped up as high as they did, I just didn't want to keep going paying extra for it. But I have seen Peace and Morgan dollars at a better price than 90%. So well, they're obviously they're whatever 0.77 ounces of silver, right, per dollar or whatever. And then you've got the half dollars, quarters, and dimes. I have seen the half dollars, quarters, and dimes selling for less than relative to a peace dollar or Morgan dollar. So but I have seen numismatic Morgans and peace dollars seem to still be holding their premium pretty well from what I saw. And yeah, everybody, there's quite a few people here chatting it up. So if you guys have any experience, it can help Penny Scout out here. I have seen, that's what I've seen on the internets and on eBay shopping and stuff like that. But yeah, the graded ones, the higher graded ones seem to be holding pretty strong, I think. Oh, all right. Let me see here. They're still trying to screw the little people. SMC. Yeah, I mean, right now, when we look at the volume, though, where are we at? Gold. If you look at the volume, let's zoom out. Let's get out of this. Exit that. Pull out. Pull back. Pull back. The volume for the last 5 days, it hasn't been crazy. What are we doing? It hasn't been crazy. So you can see there, that's what I was looking for. You see the difference? Like, it's not nuts. It's higher than, back in the day, but it's not nuts all day long. We'll see what happens. Obviously this was the period of craziness, right? This 120 to 63 moment looks like that was like the big shakeup, and now we're kind of balancing out, but we'll see. Pre-1921 Morgans might be holding a slight premium. Yeah, I didn't think about that, Serpents. I wasn't thinking about the 21s situation, but yeah. OC, what are you talking about here? 146 sub, 13.9 thousand views. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. You might need to give me some context. Give me some context on what you're talking about, man. Can't get an ounce of gold for less than 7. Wow, Canna Stacker. Wow. Well, what's the Canadian? I'm guessing up here, right? Canada, right? Again, that's right. Canadian is like what, 73 per dollar? Is that correct? So that's really high, right? Because you would think that it would be in theory less than the US dollar, but it's more. Yeah, that does seem pretty tough, man. That sounds pretty tough. See what happens. That's expensive, man. So is gold just like very scarce? Like, I guess because Canada sold all their gold, right, as a nation, but it's not like the USA is selling their gold to the populace. So I guess Canada just never really was never really a good market for precious metals, I guess. So they never really built up like stores and inventory all across the country. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that would be an interesting story to figure out. Why Canada's prices are so much elevated over the USA. It would be very interesting to figure out. Oh, you're saying you. Okay. Hey, well, congratulations, OC. My channel is a little bit obscure because, not that people really worry too much about my YouTube metrics, but I have somewhere like 500,000 views total. But I have like 800 videos privated because it was about a different subject than precious metals. So my channel is a little weird for sure. And I like doing live videos, and live videos are like not really that discoverable for YouTube. So it kind of like inherently keeps you small when you don't do the big timey stuff, when you don't put out videos every day that kind of push those emotional buttons and stuff. You can kind of intentionally stay small. All right. Yeah. So gold, silver, we finally found a channel. Also, gold looks pretty healthy. I mean, gold has had a huge run up, but if we're looking at this 6-month chart, I don't look at this and I don't think to myself like, this is insane, right? Now, if I look over here, that sentiment changes a little bit, but it's not terrible. And to be quite fair, I did feel like 3 years ago, silver and gold were due a bigger run up because they had not really kept up with inflation like they should have. They inflation was going up and these were kind of like staying stagnant. And it just didn't really feel right? Reckless Collections members 1 month. I don't know what y'all are talking about. What's up, Brilliance? It has been a while. And it wasn't because of me, Brilliance. It was because of you. Where have you been, sir? Where have you been? Why have you not come in here and said hello? Catcom, what's up? Waiting for a drop in prices in silver. I am too. Not that anybody asked. But I personally am waiting for $65 silver before I really go out of my way to buy more. Now, I have bought, I do buy some silver. And like I said, it's the stuff that I'm collecting and playing with. So it's these, it's these little $half that I like. It's a roll of $half here or there, 90%. It's some like these little things right here. If you don't know, these are ounces in the image of the Walking Liberty $half. These are actually half-ounce silver pieces that I've been buying, and I think these are really cool. And it's a ½ ounce of pure silver, and it looks like the looks like the Walker. See. So one is an actual 90% $half, and one is just a ½ ounce of pure silver. So I thought that was really cool. I've been picking up these little ½ ounce silvers here or there. And what I kind of do is I just add them onto an order, right? But really, I think gold is where it's at right now for me. So I have another 3 grams of gold ordered. I have, I think 2 more grams of platinum ordered. I have another, like Walking Liberty $half that I need for my album ordered. Like I'm just buying, pieces here, pieces there, nothing too insane. Just if I, if it's after payday and I've paid all my bills and I've got a little extra cash floating around, I'm like, I'll go see if I can find a deal on something. But I'm not going out there like, throwing 5,000 or 10,000 at this market. I would like to see, it come down a little bit more before I really get comfortable. Or stay in this channel for a while, right? Yeah. You're only buying 90% right now at great deals with the LCS. Yeah, that's awesome. My paper passed. Yeah, I think 90%. Look, you can't sell it today you can't sell it for any of a good price, but you can definitely buy it for a great price right now. So if you're in this for the next 10, 20 years, I think 90% is a pretty cool spot to be at. Brilliance, my man. Can't comment everyone's channels. You will lose subscribers. Is need to like, comment, and subscribe on everyone's channel. Oh, I get what you're saying. OC Omega. Yeah, building a kind of a network of people kind of helps out. Not selling on eBay. They will drop. And then check out the sheep to silver ratio Dragoon informative. What is the? I'll be honest with you, Brilliance. I have not looked up how much it costs to purchase a sheep. I have not looked up how much it costs to purchase a sheep, but I would imagine it's a few ounces of silver, right? I just got my first 4 Walking Liberty $half bonus. They are 24 karat gold, electroplated. Oh, you and those crazy coins, silver serpents. That's cool. Is that a gold Britannia at the bottom right corner? Probably. Yeah, it is. A good eye, dude. I don't know how you saw that. Yeah, that's a 1/10 Britannia. I got a few of these. Man, what is this camera doing? Like, what is the camera even looking at? My hand? Can it not even try? There we go. Yeah, that's a 1/10 Britannia. Yeah, I got like a Cougarand. I got all sorts of them down here. I don't know. We got this guy. This is one of my favorites right here. This is a 1/20th coin. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, this is a pretty cool. This is my favorite. This is my favorite piece of gold. This is the $5, right? Quarter eagle Indian head. It's got that incuse design. If you guys haven't ever seen this one, I don't ever remember what coins and stuff I've shown or not shown, but this is one of my favorites. I really like the eagle. I really like the Indian. I like the incuse, and it's just a nice piece of gold. It's just a chunk of gold. I really do like these. I don't know. I got sovereigns in here. I just got all sorts of craziness, man. I got francs. I don't even know. We got the Commander series, the 1/10 Commander series. I think I've got Patton, and I think I've got Caesar. Yeah, like I said, I don't care, man. I don't care like about continuity in my stack or anything. I just say, what is a great price? If I feel like it's a great price and I can get it close to spot, like I don't care. That's all. I want the weight, more than I want like the specific flavor. And then $half, the reason I chose $half is I genuinely like the size. They look good, they sound good. I've got like literally an entire like bag full of them. Look how big this bag is. It gives you any idea how big this bag is, and it's just filled with $half coins, 90% silver coins. So yeah, I just stack them, man. Just stack them up. The Mint is coming out with a $2.50. Yeah, I heard that, Catcom. What's that about? What is that about? Tell me about that. So that makes sense. That's kind of cool because it's a $2.50 coin. So the numbers are 250, which relates to the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. I really like what they're doing. That. What's the design going to be? It's a $10 Indian head, or are you saying something else? All right, Brilliance. All right, Brilliance. You tell me. You tell me, Brilliance. What you think? You just got this gut feeling that it's going to skyrocket soon? I hope so. I hope it's going to be the I hope March is the catalyst for the paper contracts to kind of more represent the physical pricing and stuff, and kind of balance out the entire global trade to where they're closer. There's like not this $10, $15 polarity. I hope so. But you have 1/10 in gold. Nice, nice. Yeah, gold is for like, it's like, right? Brilliance. It's like the silver is to buy your sheep. The gold is to buy your farm, right? you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you stack the silver for your barter, and you stack your gold to build your kingdom whenever things start to recover. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we got a lot of cool little coins in here. It's just digging deep. We got little grams, and we got little 1/20ths and 1/1000ths. I got all sorts of different sizes, shapes, everything, designs. I enjoy the variety, the spice of light. You're buying pre-33? Heck yeah, Catcom. I have some. I have 2.5 Indians in here. I have a 5 Indian. I've got there's the 2.5. There's a little 2.5 guy right there. We've got lots of Dos Pesos, Dos y Media Pesos. Yeah, we're just all over the place with the gold. I really do want I want a buffalo too. Just a big fat, American buffalo. I think that's a really beautiful coin. It's good stuff. Yeah, and fractional is where I've been at for a while. When the price was going up like as high as it's been going up, I really got into just stacking fractional because it just made more sense to me. If I was ever in a situation where I wanted to offload some gold, I would much rather like have the option to get rid of, a 1/10 ounce piece or a 1/2 ounce silver piece rather than having to give up like a 10 ounce bar of silver or a 1 ounce gold coin, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like the fractional, and if you can get it for about the same exact price as spot, and a lot of that stuff was at spot when gold was going from like 2,500 to 4,500. And I would buy all these different at spot deals and stuff. So yeah. You got some nice coins over there. I guess. Thanks, man. I don't know if they're better than yours or not. I like them. I mean, but there's nothing special, right? There's nothing like, as far as I know, I don't have any like unique dates or anything like that. Like this isn't something that you couldn't go and pick up anytime you wanted to on your own, right? So nothing too special out there. I wasn't really into the numismatics of gold. I just wanted the gold. There's There is one piece of gold that I really do want, that I haven't really got myself to buy because it has quite a premium, but I think it's the 2016 W um Walking Liberty half ounce gold coin. And it's like it's what's it called? It's a commemorative coin, I guess you could say. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, a commemorative gold coin. I do want one of those, but it comes with a pretty hefty premium, so it doesn't make sense to me that it doesn't make sense to me to pay a hefty premium at all-time highs. I would rather just wait for a rebound or just accept the fact that like I missed my opportunity to get it when it was a great price, and I can live with myself for that. But yeah, you've got that one. Oh, that's awesome, Catcom. Awesome, man. I really think that's a beautiful coin. And if I'm gonna buy one, I'm gonna buy it in like whatever it's called, PR 70 graded. If I'm gonna pay the extra, I might as well get it. It's not a buffalo either. It's a bison. Oh man, get out of here, Phoenix. Oh, Fetty, it's not a coin, and most definitely is. I guess technically it's a round, right? I mean, does it have an actual sovereign government valuation on it? Because I guess if it doesn't, then technically it's not a coin. I guess I don't know, but ah, don't take my buffalo dreams away from me, Phoenix. That's good stuff. The Queen's Beast come in 1 ounce gold. Look, okay, all right, Staple, chill, man, chill. I'm still working on my 2 ounce Queen's Beast set. The Queen's Beasts come in platinum and gold and stapler. They come in 10-ounce rounds. And I really, really, really want all the Queen's Beasts with the completer coin in 10-ounce. Man, I have a vision for a wall. I'm going to talk to you about it. You're going to have to carve this thing out of wood for me. But I really want to get them in 10-ouncers and build a circular wooden carved piece in the shape of the completer coin. And then I put each of the 10-ounce coins in their designated slot where they are on the completer, on the wooden brackets, and then put it up on the wall. I think it would look amazing. I can't describe it, as like awesome as I think it would look in real person, but just work with me. Just imagine the most amazing thing you can think of, and that's what I want it to be. All right. 2017 10-ounce Canadian Tree of Life is an awesome coin if you can find it now. I picked up one back then. Yeah, Brian Barbie, what's up, man? The 5-ounce coins and the 10-ounce coins are really, really cool. Hell, if you give me a second, guys, I got a 5-ounce coin I can show you. Hold on. I got to get it out of my wall safe. The code is 2222 if anybody wonders. No, here we go. All right. Well, we're on the wrong screen for this show and tell here, but here's a couple cool pieces y'all might like. Here. There's a 5-ouncer. This is I think it's the Scottsdale Mint Commander series. And this is the George Bush coin. And you see right here, it says 250 because it's commemorating the 250th anniversary of the USA. So a lot of coins that are coming out these days have this little privy here with the Liberty Bell with 250 on it. So I think that's really cool. So I really like this. So we have the Washington proof. So these are pretty cool. I like this. Obviously, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, we also have the old George Washington 20 ounces of silver statue. So we got the combination here. And then, a 10-ounce Kookaburra last did. That's cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, that'd be nice. I love their 10-ounce Queen Beast completer coin. Oh, that's so cool, Phoenix. I wish I had that one. This, though, this is what's cool, too. Here you go. Here's another cool piece that I have. So speaking of Washington, here's his flintlock pistol in silver. This is from the Spectre series. This is really nice too. Um, yeah, came with a really nice box, really nice all sorts of stuff. But yeah, this is it right here. So this coin is really nice. This actually is a coin, and it's got like the serial number underneath it and everything. Like it's really detailed. I don't know if this is gonna focus enough for what I want to show you guys, but yeah, really beautiful. Just absolutely. Dang it, it's not gonna show up, but yeah, it's got really intricate details on it. It's really nice. I think this is a really great thing, and it was a little expensive to admit. So not like the smartest, stacking choice, but I just think it's a beautiful little thing, little commemorative, something that I don't really plan to ever sell. It's just gonna, sit around on a display for a while for people and to enjoy. So got that? Yeah. We got a couple like unique things. I have some unique things out there that I like. It shoots silver bullets. I wish, Catcom, that'd be really cool. I would totally I would totally buy little tiny, silver balls to have like a muzzle loader. That would be funny. What's the weight? I believe it was 2 ounces, Barbie. 2 ounces of weight on that piece. But again, very expensive. I think it was something like $350. So it's not a practical piece of silver, but it's a very cool one. Yeah, be cool. Freedom is freedom. Hey, heck yeah, heck yeah. I'll take that for one. Yeah, I wish. Even the fractional buffaloes are valued 1/10 ounce, $5. Oh, they are. Okay, Penny Scout. Well, then they're coins. Then they're coins. So you're saying the big buffalo is $50? Okay. I got 2 of the pistols. Amazing quality. I planned on 2. One to sell on 7 to pay for my other one. 7/4/2026. Okay, so July 4th, you're gonna sell. That's cool. Let me know how it goes, Tony Phoenix. I don't know if like brilliance. I don't have just one. If that answers your question there. I have more than one within reaching distance. That flintlock worked too. Yeah, dude, the flintlock was really nice. They did a really great job on that piece. Now I know that Spectre makes some like swords, some like ancient swords, and they're cool. They are cool. I like the design on those, but I really just I really like the flintlock. It's just something different. It's just something different. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Catcom. It's just a showpiece. It's like this is that thing that like you have out there, and you just say like, "Hey, it just gets people asking questions like, "What is that?" And you can be like, "Yeah, it's made out of silver. Like it's pure silver." And you just holding it, you can feel a little bit of the weight of it. You can see the beautiful detail that my camera I have like I need to get like a 4K camera, I guess, but camera just doesn't do it justice for like the nice sheen, nice little gray silver color to it, and all the detail. Like it's even got like GW, down here. It's really cool. It's got his initials and stuff. Really nice. I love my 1916, 1917 standing liberties. I need more. Yeah, that's cool. I don't have any seated I don't have any seated liberty like has. I don't have any flowing hair, draped bust. I want to get some of those, but I just haven't. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt's knife. Okay. You got the pistol instead. Yeah, the pistol's cool. Pistol's cool. I'm glad I got one. I don't remember how many there were made. There weren't that many. I've got all my COAs and all that stuff, the boxes and all that crap. Somewhere I've got like a big pile of boxes and COAs. I even kept the one for the big old statue, so that if I ever want to resell it or package it up, I've got it all available. It'll be nice. It'll be nice. But yeah, I mean, again, just kind of relaxing tonight, guys. You guys got any questions you guys want to talk about? Anything top of your mind that's been going on that you've been concerned with? Is there anything special about the silver market that you've identified that nobody else has really talked about? I don't know. I feel like we've talked about 90%. I still think 90% is a great buy if you have. Oh, that's right, 1,776. Oh, that's that. Duh. Yeah, that makes sense. I still think 90% is a good buy if you have a very long time horizon and you can wait for this whole like. Right now, it's in very low demand, especially with the refinery backs up and stuff. But the reality is they're gonna continue to melt that stuff forever, and as long as they're still melting it, we can expect the numismatic side of it to kind of keep its weight, I guess, to keep its value. Bullish or not? Am I bullish or not? Right now, I'm kind of neutral. I'm almost bearish neutral, and it's not because I don't think it's going to keep going up over time. I think let's give it like 6 months to a year. I think we're going to have some. I was talking about expecting this to have a pretty big beatdown at 100, and when we blew past 100, it kind of like surprised me when we did that 100 all the way up to like 115, 120 really quick. I thought we were going to get beat down at 100 and held down for a while. So what's happening now is what I actually thought was going to happen originally. So I'm surprised it got as high as it did. So this is what I was expecting to happen through summer, basically. And then I was thinking it was going to try to trickle its way back above 100 near the end of the year to close out the year. But, hey, I was wrong, I guess. What do you think is going to happen in the metals market since the world is making everything digital, no more paper? yeah. Spell check got you there, huh? You don't have that much time, Catcom? Like, what do you mean you don't have that much time? Like, you don't have that much time for like retirement or to stack, or what are you trying to do? Sell, buy? I don't know. It just dawned on me, if a half buffalo is $25 and a quarter is $10, what if I have 2 quarter-ounce pieces? It is weird. You would think that the half or the quarter would be half of the half. So it's interesting that it goes a little lower. Any thoughts on sterling? That's interesting. Your kids are crying. Oh, sorry. Got you. New kids are crying. I think that you have time. I mean, if you've got like 5+ years, I think you're fine. I don't know that I don't know. It's hard to predict all this stuff, but my gut feeling is that metals, silver shouldn't have been $20 for as long as it was, and gold shouldn't have been under 2,000 for as long as it was. And I feel like we are just now seeing like the return to the inflation adjustment that should have happened at around like, I think it's around 55 to 65 silver, right? And it's around 3,500 gold. That's kind of where I had it pegged, because I wasn't doing my inflation adjustment based off the spikes of 2011 and the spikes of 1980. I was doing it based off the averages, so I feel good about it. Yeah, I don't know. And how I feel about sterling is funny enough is like I've actually been buying sterling. I've been buying sterling in the form of jewelry and stuff that I like. I guess for instance, like I just picked up this necklace not too long ago. I'm not really showing it very well, but I've picked up a couple rings. I just picked up this necklace. I just picked up another chain. I also just bought a 90% silver pocket watch too. So just like I'm just picking up little trinkets in sterling silver. You can kind of find some decent deals. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more expensive simply because silver's so expensive, but I don't know. I've just been picking up more just little fun things. Yeah, I think that's great. Like candle holders, sterling silver silverware. We have a friend of ours in our Discord. If you guys haven't noticed, I forgot to update my marquee. Sorry about that, guys, but I literally updated the prices today, and then I forgot to update my marquee. But somebody's been picking up a lot of really good silverware pieces, and like if you think about it, like this might be the time to stack some of those things that sort of, you probably passed on for a while, but might be a good time to go back and pick up some art pieces that you really like, some sterling silver, platter trays, or goblets or wine cups or silverware, or just pick up some of that stuff that's being dumped at all of these coin shops and being melted down. And you just buy a few pieces here or there, and before long, you have a nice full set of really nice designs and stuff that you like. And it's something of value that yes, you could sell it if you needed to, but also you could hold on to it as like having special memories and with your family and passing it down or whatever. I don't know. It does feel like it's a good time to kind of pick up some of those weird, I don't know, just oddball things that you normally wouldn't have been shopping for. Take advantage of the market when other people don't want it. There we go. What's going on, Mr. POTUS? You got wrecked on some mining stocks? Yeah, like not bragging or anything, but I sold out of them a couple weeks ago when they were all spiking so much. I was like, I have no problem taking profit off the table, and I sold pretty much all of them. I kept like just a few shares of everything. And then when they kept going, I was like, I'm good. And I just exited all of that speculative mining stock positions because they were up. I had one that was up like 150%. So I took out like 80% of it. And then when it started coming down, I would sell like a few shares, and eventually I just liquidated all of it after like the big crash. I was like, I'm good. I got my profit out of it all. And even after the crash, it was still up like 70-80%. It was insane. So yeah, I took some profits off that. I lost a little bit on some options that I was playing, but overall, it was a really good trade. I like to trade on the markets, and I like to stack the physical, right? Time to get another blue steel. I gotta set high goals if you want to be rich. Yeah. Long-term goals: buy silver mine and pour my own one. Oh, that would be crazy. Yeah, there you go. The fractional out that are breakable are good to have for trade and bartering. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You're talking about Craig Simpson. You're talking about the like the breaker bars or whatever they're called, where like you get like 30 grams or whatever it is, or 100 grams, and you can break them into pieces. That's cool. That's why I'm buying this stuff, Craig. Is these little half-ounce silver pieces. I like them, and I'm just having fun with them. They look good. They're pure silver, and they're fractional, and obviously my 90% is fractional as well. If you're looking really fractional, getting dimes and quarters are not a bad idea as well. Yeah. Did I ever get oh, sorry, wrong. Dragoon, if you hold $5,000 in gold rather than holding it in the bank, it messes up fractional banking loans and could cause bank failures. What do I think? I mean, I don't think $5,000 in gold. Here, I'll hold $5,000 in gold for you right here. Here you go. Isn't that like, I don't even know the math real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's over $5,000 in gold. So are you saying that this is going to break the banking system? I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't think the banks are as fragile as people think. I think they're pretty good at what they do. Remember, they're making so much money. Dude, the big banks, guys, they make so much money just off of like taking advantage of lower income people. It's unbelievable. Through high interest rate credit cards, through overdraft fees and low account fees, and like all that stuff, like balance transfer fees. Like they make billions and billions and billions of dollars off of like people that can't afford it every year. So I think banks I think they're doing better than we think. You know what I mean? However, now that the prices are down, I'm going to pick up some solid silver coins. Heck yeah. Get it. You pick up dimes and war nickels. All right, yeah. I had somebody ask me about war nickels. I'm not really too into the war nickels. And the main reason I am not into war nickels is because I wanted all of my constitutional silver. I really just wanted it to all be 90%, right? And then if it was all 90%, I didn't have to worry about making any kind of challenging math or this and that. I just wanted consistency in terms of that. I didn't care about consistency in terms of like how it looked, but I did want consistency in its purity. So I never got into war nickels, and I never got into 40% Kennedy halves. But hey, at the end of the day, it's metals. It's got some silver in it and things like that, and it's affordable. So, stack whatever you like. Some of the collector coins have good sales now. Yeah, Capcom, I'm starting to see like again, we need stability in the markets for really that opportunity for it to kind of like digest the premiums back. But right now, silver has high premiums. Even pure silver, like this stuff, like these can have a high premium if you're not doing it, like if you're not finding the right deals. So everything has a, like on the buy side, there's a pretty high premium right now. On the sell side, you're getting kind of like raked over the coals. But yeah, I found a 64 dime and a 43 nickel the other night, counting drawers. Oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I think the paper shares in the market are going to break and the vaults are low. Yep. That's what we're wondering is going to happen, Craig. That's what I'm wondering is going to happen in March. And my videos about like silver breaks the market in March, that's what that's talking about. Is there's going to be something that happens. Now, I think the COMEX is going to work around it. Also, those of you that are, just a real quick plug for myself, those of you that are channel members, you have access to this document that I've created. So what this is it's a pricing document for you. So you can see here, we put in the current spot prices. And then if you go to over all these sheets here, I have everything laid out for you. So you can see, oh, that's a little too small for y'all. Everything is laid out for you. It tells you exactly the price that is a good current spot price for, 40% Kennedy halves, all the Morgan dollars, piece dollars, half dollars, quarters, dimes, 1 ounces, kilos. I break it all down for you. And then gold, I do the same thing with gold, but I break gold down a little bit more because I'm into all like the international stuff. So I break it down by like the American gold, right? And the francs over here, all the different size franc denominations and all the different peso denominations. So this is one of those things that I kind of built this chart to give my channel members a little bit of love. Anyway, if you guys don't know about this, I have it in the channel member post. You guys are more than welcome. This is a public Google Doc. You're more than welcome to go on here, and you just fill in the yellow part on the spot prices, and then everything else will automatically convert for you. It's just I use this chart every time I'm buying online or anything or making an offer. I just look and then like I say, okay, well, I know that they're currently $27 a piece, so I'm going to make an offer of $25 a piece or something, right? It's a very quick and easy way for me to make deals and see if I'm buying something. Anyway, just wanted to throw this sheet out there. I don't really talk about some of the benefits of the channel members, but there you go. If you're interested, that's out there for you guys as well. Hope it helps. I wouldn't bother buying paper, gold, etc. Stick to physical. Yeah, Mr. Potus. I trade anything. So I definitely trade stocks and all that, but I don't trade with my metals. Like I acquire metals. I did do the GSR, like where I sold silver, not the nice stuff. I sold some like generic stuff and some 90% quarters that I didn't really want, and I bought gold with it. So one of the reasons why I have a few ounces of gold is just because I sold silver when it was kind of getting into the 80s and 90s, and I bought gold with it. Yeah. Should be 2 melt prices, paper and physical. Yeah, I wish, Catcom. We'll see what happens. Banks are failing right now. This is why they shorted silver. I don't know if the metals market is why they're failing right now, Brilliance. I think part of the reason we're having bank defaults is because they made pretty big business loans and stuff that right now, just in reality, I think the economy is not doing nearly as well as it's being presented as doing. Especially like commercial real estate side, I think is really struggling. Commercial retail and business and all that kind of stuff. Those properties are, I see them as being pretty rough. I mean, even with the cryptocurrency crash, right? Even people like Grant Cardone, who claim to be these real estate moguls, are selling off like their assets, like their private jets and stuff, because Bitcoin failed. So it makes you wonder how much of their wealth was derived from their business expertise and like knowledge about that market, or how much was just pumped up because they got into crypto early and it ballooned and therefore they made millions of dollars. I don't know. And I wonder how many people were playing like in those high leveraged situations on some of these markets, and then when the tide goes out, boop, Do I have a Canadian version for 80%? No, I don't have any like currency transaction, like our currency converters or anything like that. But I mean, really, you could essentially, if you really wanted to, copy this stuff, right? You could copy this chart and you could just convert it however you want. But the math is all there. So if you like wanted to look at it, like it's got the spot price here, it just kind of multiplies it by the sizing and all that stuff. I just did all the math for you. So that's why the only thing you need to change are these, and then it'll take care of the rest. That's all. Yeah. My spreadsheet populates spot automatically. Took a while to get it to work right. Yeah, Toning Phoenix. I actually have so this is the public one. I actually have one that on my Windows scheduler, I run a Python script that goes to Kitco and scrapes these prices basically and drops it into the file for me. But I don't have it set up for the public one. So the public one, people can just do whatever they want. But yeah, that's a good idea, Tony Phoenix. You can also set it up with your Google Sheets API and have it inject that way as well. Don't forget the bricks is buying up all the silver, and once we run out, we will rise tremendously. We will see. We will see, Brilliance. We're going to be in a really tight spot in March. We'll see what happens. 63 minutes of running. Yeah, I didn't plan to go this long, Penny Scout. I just wanted to go live and kind of see what the community was up to. Just have a little casual conversation, right, in chat. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm a farmer, and if you look at the average cost per acre, has always stayed the same throughout the years. Like now, 1 acre is about 5,000, the same as an ounce of gold. That's interesting, Craig. Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to that. It all depends. The acreage right now, land costs are kind of like depending on where you're at. But it sounds like in your area, like that's been pretty consistent. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Bitcoin to 20K USD. Let's go. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow Bitcoin that closely, to be honest with you. The only Bitcoin information I really get, like I have Bitcoin, but I just don't pay attention to it. It's just other channels every now and then talk about cryptocurrency, and so that's kind of like where I follow it. I'm not like one of those guys that like, I'm not following all those people on Twitter and Reddit, and I don't care enough about crypto. I think Michael Saylor will be forced to liquidate. MTSR is going to collapse. He can only hang on to that 0% loan on everything for so long till I don't know what Michael Saylor's plan is for Bitcoin when its price is going down like this, but I can say it's not the only time that he's probably had to deal with this before, right? We'll see. Just use the ratio land to gold or silver, and I try to buy through the trade for land. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I think land is the next place I'm looking at really making a big purchase for myself. So that's where we're at. I do want to see silver before I'm really buying more silver. I would like to see silver get down to like $65 an ounce, and I would like to see gold get to like $4,500 an ounce before I'm really, really buying more. But I say that, and I just bought gold and platinum and silver. I'm just buying it in very small fractional sizes, right? So I'm not overextending in any way or anything like that. Just having some fun with it, right? Just keeping the stack growing ever so slightly. And if we get a big massive pullback, that's a time probably to drop in there. I'm also still working on my Queen's Beast. I don't have my Queen's Beast down here right now, or I would show you guys. But I've got a display that we're building out of an old cigar box. I'm really excited about getting that fully done. And once the cigar box is completely full of all the 2-ounce Queen's Beast, I'll show you guys that, and you can check it out. It's a really cool display. It's in an old My Father's cigar box, so it looks really nice. One of the online sites was selling Silver Eagles at 99 over spot today. Joshua, that's a really, really good deal for Silver Eagles. 99 cents over spot at $75 an ounce. I would say, Joshua, I think I'd probably pick up a few. Those have been carrying like a good $10 to $12 premium lately. So I think that's a pretty solid deal. Now, I wonder, do you think that signifies that maybe that online dealer knows something that we don't, and maybe they think that there's going to be another price correction soon, and they need to offload these things because demand isn't really as high as they make us think? I don't know. I wonder if there's a little bit more telling information there. Silver is 666. Man, screw that. I'd rather silver be 777, man, or 888, right? Let's get that Asian luck number. Why do we want silver to be 666? I'm not a big fan of that. I can't see gold dropping that low now since everything that's happening with Trump. You know, it's interesting is gold is, I mean, we cover it here and I'll cover it again in the future, but all these nations, what I think is happening with gold, and it not really pertains to silver. I think silver is just kind of like along for the ride here, but I think what's going on with gold is that all of these foreign nations, with the whole trade war that we're doing with all the different countries, continents of people, with the kind of like the creation of this new world order, I think the world also looks at the US currency and realizes that our debt, you know, our debt is going to be, in the interest is in the trillions and stuff, and it's, you know, as much as our, you know, military spending, and it's basically, they shouldn't even be charging us federal taxes anymore, because federal taxes barely puts a dent in the freaking, you know, national debt anyways. Why are we even paying taxes? They should just abolish federal taxes and just be like, whatever, we'll just figure it out, right? Anyway, I think what's really happening is the world is realizing that they need gold, and most likely there's going to be probably a cycle of some fiat currencies switching back to a gold-backed currency. You know, they'll probably switch back to a fiat again, but that cycle has happened throughout history, like even Chinese history and stuff, where they go from a, you know, a backed currency to a fiat currency, and then they inflate it away, and then they go back to a backed currency, and then into a fiat currency again, and then they inflate it away. Like, this is not a new cycle. This is a cycle that's happened for a very long time, and I think that the world realizes that they were playing with free house money from the US dollar for a while, and now it's time for them to sort of like batten the hatches, build up their walls, build up their own reserves, and I think that there's been a run on gold. Now, that being said, if I'm right, I also think that at some point the buying is going to slow down and the buying is going to stop, and then we are going to see the true correction for these prices come down when, you know, trillions of dollars aren't flooding into these markets. You know, I'm just one of those guys, like, not everything goes up forever. There are periods of consolidation, there are periods of pullbacks. We just got to see what happens. I should have said the Eagles were the off quality. It doesn't, I don't care, dude. Joshua, I'm the same way, brother. I'm the same way. Look, man, I am a spot deal hunter, baby. Sure, you're not going to get any minty proofs, you know, that you can, you know, go get graded. So what? You're still getting American Silver Eagles, 1 ounce pure silver. You know, put them in a pile, put them in a bag. Who cares? They're already ugly, right? But you're getting a great price, right? We are printing money to buy gold. Hey, Atoning Phoenix, yeah, Catcom and Atoning Phoenix said the same thing, I think. Thing is, all these other countries are going to be pulling billions out of the US and stock market, which will have a full-blown collapse. Yeah, so they're going to be pulling, not, I don't know how much. I know China was pretty deep into the US stock market. I think they've pulled out pretty slowly. So China doesn't want to crash their own investments either. So they're going to pull out slowly over like decades. China is we don't give China enough credit for being a pretty intelligent, savvy-minded people. They're not going to crash their own valuation. They're gonna pull out slowly, right? Russia's basically already detoxed from the US. I mean, and then it's not like everybody's our enemy. We still have a lot of strong allies out there that will stay invested because we are still a rising economy, especially on AI and tech, right? Let's be real. I mean, it may be a circle jerk, but it's still rising. You know, the US dollar is still strong. It's still the world reserve currency. It's still there. Like, it's what are they gonna? They're not gonna switch to the Chinese yuan, right? They're definitely not gonna be switching to the Japanese currency. I don't think they'll be going into rubles, right? So I mean, they're definitely not going into any of the you know, English nations, France, Spain, anything like that. Like they're like, where would they go? I could see a stable coin backed by gold and silver, or backed by some kind of promise. I could see that somewhere. but that's got to be so far down the line. I don't know. Just me thinking out loud. Whatever you guys think too, but I think eventually people are gonna the countries are gonna get their reserves caught up on what they believe they need for there, and then we're gonna see it. But dude, I'll be honest, I've been calling for a stock market crash for so many years, and it still hasn't come. And guess what? Guess what happens, guys? As soon as the stock market starts going down 5 or 10%, you you all know what the Trump administration is going to do, right? With their new Federal Reserve chair. I mean, you can figure it out. If the stock market were to drop 10% in a month, it would be the biggest news story ever. Trump would take that as like a key indicator that he needs to make better. They would lower interest rates and they would print money and they would boost the economy artificially through basically inflation. And then all of a sudden, businesses would start hiring again because they're going to be taking out loans, massive loans, to expand again. There's going to be probably tax incentives across the country to do expansion inside the USA. And all of a sudden, our economy would be booming artificially again, and the market would come right back. I am truly of a belief at this point that our government, as long as they can do it, they will not let the stock market crash for longer than like 2-3 months. That's my belief. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be. British non-royals sit on King David's chair. They didn't pull the sword. Only a true royal chosen one can pull that sword. Stock market crash coming up. Babylon falls in 1 hour, just like the revelations say. We are so close to all the sites. I've been calling a stock market crash. Dude, I don't even know. I mean, the stock market has been a bubble, an artificially inflated bubble for a long time. And we have crashes and then it comes right back. I don't know. I've heard that many countries are starting to push their own incentives for their citizens to invest within their own country. Yeah, I think it's smart, right? I mean, if I was the ruler of a nation, Mr. POTUS, wouldn't you do the same thing? Wouldn't you say, hey, you know what? We need to start doing our own manufacturing. We need to start making sure that we have a lot more independence from the rest of the world. You know, we need to make sure that we have goods that we can produce at scale that we could barter and trade with for other specific nations that we want to partner with, right? I want to make sure that our country, is protected and that we have, that our expenses aren't larger than our incomes, right? Like, that's what I would be doing if I were a ruler. I would want to make my nation to be so like sound and strong that like no external force is going to collapse me. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Craig, gold was the standard until foreign nations were asking for their gold and they were wanting to turn in their US dollar gold back, right? Like, we had made promises to store the world's wealth in our nation after the wars. And when those nations eventually started wanting their gold back, we, I guess, either realized we couldn't pay or didn't want to pay the gold to these nations. So that's when we decided to get off the gold standard. And once we got off the gold standard, I think that was the beginning of the end of erosion of trust, probably. And the only thing that kept it alive was, the booming times that we had in was it like the 90s and then the 2000s, right? Like those booming decades really probably pushed people, or nations to want to kind of invest back in with the US, and they see our strength and obviously our military prowess of being able to sort of manage the world at scale. Like these things made us look strong. We were a rising shooting star. I don't know that we still are that rising shooting star. I don't know really if we're comparing ourselves to all the other nations that, the growing nations, like India is growing massively. China is growing massively right now. I don't know how much of it's, legit or not, but China seems to be doing really well on a lot of fronts. So, we're probably not as so much further ahead that we used to be. It made sense, like all these other nations wanting to invest in the US because we were the, just absolutely the dominating guy taking off like crazy. So that makes sense. But now, probably not so much. Screw large scale. I like my hobby farm. I need to be a better one though. I slacked off the last couple years. Yeah, that's all I want, Penny Scott, too, man. I just want a nice little small homestead, probably like 10 acres or so. I feel like 10 acres is enough to have some space and privacy and do what you want on it, but it's not so much that like you spend all day every day maintaining your land and like, you know, doing all that. I know a million people from other countries invest into the S&P 500. Once the other nations have their citizens investing solely in their own countries, the U.S. market is doomed. We'll see. We'll see, Mr. POTUS, but people like free and easy money, man. They do. If you read the book of Enoch, you will read that there is a 200 fallen angels running all systems, but they are all being removed by this 4th of July. This is why it crashes as soon as its slave system. We'll see. 4th of July. 4th of July, 250 years. We'll see what the symbolism is, but, you know, I'm an observer, right? I'm just an observer. I'm here for the ride to see what happens. Royals don't interfere with the government. So the citizens of those other countries are motivated to invest outside of the U.S. Yeah, I could see that, Mr. POTUS. Like, it's you know, it's financial warfare. I mean, we're at war. Like, there's always a pseudo war happening in the world for control and power and posturing, right? It may not always be bloodshed and violence, but there is always a power struggle happening across the globe, right? It's kind of like the Cold War, but it's more silent these days, right? Where they're just posturing for power, land, prestige, wealth, influence. It's never going to stop. We in the U.S. are fortunate that we are as powerful as we are. Power is a pretty significant deterrent. If we were a weak nation pulling the same stuff that we're pulling, we'd have a lot of angry nations at our doorstep trying to stop us, right? So, like, let's not get it twisted. Our power puts us in a great bargaining position to control parts of the world, but it comes with a cost. And it seems like to me that these other nations are kind of getting tired of our shtick. You know what I mean? And that's why they're probably looking for ways to deleverage themselves so that they're less dependent on the U.S. That's just my thoughts. I don't know, but I'm very proud to be an American, and I'm very proud to be in this country. And I do wish things would go a little differently sometimes. I do wish that we'd have some differences in accountability and morals and laws and rights being protected even more. But hey, here we are. Believe me, it gets expensive having that much, especially crops. You got 435 acres. Craig Simpson, my man, good for you, buddy. 435 acres. That sounds like a lot of work to me. I would probably leave most of that acreage just untouched. Maybe cleaning it out to like prevent fires and stuff, but I would definitely not be cultivating 435 acres. I don't know. That would need a lot of farm equipment and a lot of time and a lot of effort. I don't have a big enough family for that. You know what I mean? I mean, my top end is probably like 20 acres, and my preference is around 10. That's what I'm shopping for. I do like Zillow searches and Save searches and stuff. And I'm trying to look for just a nice, modest house on about 10 acres in a part of the country that respects my personal freedoms, right? So yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone about an hour and 20 minutes here. This was just a little impromptu, just chit chat, hang out, have a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I really appreciate everybody's conversations. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There's like a $1.99 tier. There's a stacker, just hangs out there. It gives you extra entries when we do giveaways. You get a boost to getting free stuff when I do that. You get some more private conversations about stock picking and investment stuff. And then the little private sheets and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, thanks guys. Really do appreciate all of you. Click the like button and subscribe if you find this channel worth your time to come back and watch. I do appreciate it. We'll try to put out some videos. I'm not big on videos. I'm more into these live stream conversations. But yeah, anyway, stay safe out there. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great President's Day if you're off on Monday. And God bless you guys. I hope that you guys continue to have prosperity. and great wealth and happiness and whatever you're trying to pursue. And I will catch you guys next time we go live. Peace out, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good night.